What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to teach you guys how you can build the best loadout you can for your preference in Black Ops Rescue Mission 5. Now every loadout should have these two things, a suppressor and a device top accessory, or a scope, aka, or magnifier, whatever you prefer. Now, there are different types of weapons in the game, which we're going to explore right now. We have assault rifles. Assault rifles are good for basically any range. Most assault rifles are the best weapons in the game, as for example the AUG A3, the AK-74M, the AK-104, if I can find it, 105 as well. Carbines. Carbines are just shorter and more compact versions of the assault rifles. Now, they are also as good as assault rifles. That's it. That's where I'm going to leave off carbines. Personal defense weapons. These are mostly SMGs. We have the P90. Good for high rate of fire and high magazine types. They're good for like close quarters combat or building combat. They're just all around good weapon to have, even though they're not classified as the best weapon type in the game. Without further ado, let's go to the submachine guns, where you can find some, I think, of the personal defense weapons. Now, submachine guns are basically the military version of the personal defense weapons. They are they have a higher damage, and they usually have around 30, maybe 50 bullets, depending on the weapon. 30 rounds, yeah. They're just almost the exact same as a personal defense weapon, just a a bit of improvement all around. Now, shotguns. Shotguns are excelling at close range combat, and you have different types of shotguns. For example, the Saiga 12. The Saiga 12 is not the best case shotgun in this because it's an automatic shotgun and it's basically the worst shotgun in this category, but what can you do about it? Nothing. Battle rifles. Battle rifles are basically longer range and higher damaged assault rifles. They usually carry 3 spots per 30 rounds. You have 10 round magazine, a 20 round magazine, a 30 round magazine. That is just a slight improvement from the assault rifle. They carry a 7.62 X5 51mm ammo type. It's just overall good for high damage, bad for lightweight. Now, marksman rifles. Design marksman rifles are basically weaker snipers. Some of them deal around 120 damage. They are alright weapons. Just be sure to put on a scope to them. They're good replacements for the sniper. They have long range. The only thing that separates them from a sniper is that snipers deal much less damage. Now, I do not know which of these are the best, but they're good. Sniper rifles. Sniper rifles are basically just for taking out some enemies like other snipers, or taking out vehicles, maybe helicopters if you want, but they're not the top pick for raiding solo or just raiding in general, but there are many uses to it, so it's not useless. Light machine gun. In my personal opinion, one of the best weapons in the game, the M249. You can put on a scope to it. It has a nice range. It has nice rate of fire. It is heavy, which is one of its biggest downsides. But overall, this is a perfect rifle for going into raids. Now, there's also the RPK, general purpose, and no, RPK, PKM. The general purpose rifle, it's chamber in 7.62. It's and it's a bit heavier, and it's just a good weapon in general. The only thing that separates these from assault rifles is when you shoot it, you're not going to get the results you want, aka you're not going to rapid fire the same spot, you're going to rapid fire into a flurry around. So you're not going to be exactly the most accurate with this weapon. Pistols. Pistols are fairly straightforward. You have the Python, which is one of the strongest, but also one of the worst because it has a suppressor. A good pistol should be able to have a suppressor, a sight device or top component accessory, or if you want a flashlight. I like mine with around more than 10 bullets. Around 11 bullets is good for anybody. They're usually used for close range if your gun has ran out of ammo, and they're just great weapons to have. Melees, melees are melees. They're just good for close range. And the worst one is probably the hunting gun bar. Even though it allows you to open up doors or stuff like that, it's just too heavy to carry around. My personal favorite is the Tomahawk. It's like it's semi lightweight and it's just good reach and stuff like that. The only thing that separates them is reach, with hunting gun bar having the highest reach and the lowest reach having this soft cut dagger, even though the soft cut dagger is the smallest weapon out of all of them. Now, what does your weapon need? Well, your weapon needs to have a high damage to range ratio. Now, what is a damage to range ratio? So let me just. A good weapon should always have a high or 105 or higher damage in the headshot area. So distance to damage ratio is basically how much that bullet travels, that much damage it loses. It's not that complicated, it's all in this little bar here. As you can see, it does 105 damage close range headshot, but it starts dropping off in damage as you go further and further, you know, down, far away. Now, what does a good gun need? It needs to have low recoil, it needs to be light, it needs to have a good range, and that's basically what you need in a good gun. Now, you cannot put a laser on your gun, so you can hip fire more accurately. You can put a better stock or frame on your gun, so you have lesser recoil. Of course, a foregrip is necessary. Now, the necessary components in a gun are the scope, foregrip, and not minding your default components at all. Components like the magazine, the grip, or the barrel. The barrel calculates how much damage you do and how much range you have. So always pick the barrel that does the highest damage to range ratio. Why is this important? Is because some guns tend to have a different barrel that is like more expensive, and people just say, oh, more expensive equals more accuracy or more range or more damage, and that's not true. Sometimes it can lose that range but increase damage in short ranges. It's overall just a thing that you need to look out for. Now, how do you mod your gun? Modding your gun is easy. Just go down here, find your plus thing, then just remove. For me, I'm going to remove it, put this, and look what you need. Now, every gun, in my opinion, needs to have a stabilization device because they are just good to have on you and useful because you can perch on top of a ledge, like a building ledge, and you can have more stability. But because this weapon has like no space for it, we're not going to use it. This is the AK-74M. This one does. That is how you build your assault rifle. Now there's a different type of building that you need for your M249. Now your M249 needs to be good in every type of situation. Now, some people are going to disagree with this, and it's everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I believe that uh, machine gun like this should be good in both long and short range because, like I said before, you need to have a general purpose rifle. Just like now, you can turn any rifle into a general purpose rifle that has long range. You should always do extend your stabilization device to go forward because then you can put a grip on your M249 so you lower down recoil. Now always put your primary optic so you have either the small one, or if you want, as I said before, to have even long range capabilities, put on a magnification device. I prefer to have a radar scope on my gun. It's personal preference. I recommend a radar, but you could pick any scope you want. Now, along a scope in these types of weapons, you need an offset optic. Now, an offset optic is basically just something that you can put on the side. It's activated by T. Now it's blocked by this thing, unfortunately, but because there's no way to remove this. Now, of course, with this one, you need to be very careful because the recoil is high, and I recommend third person for using this. Now, that's basically it from main attachments. Just look at the barrel, see which one does more damage. I see this one does more damage. Boom, I already equipped it. Now, these types of weapons cannot have a suppressor on them, and that's almost it. I'm going to show you secondary, of course. Now you can put the offset scope on top of your. Now you can put it right here. I would put it right here because it's useful, very useful, and it just prevents you from being blocked, which is amazing. I'm going to put it right here. All right. Secondary attachments. Now I separated attachments into two categories: main and secondary attachments. Main attachments are the ones that I just showed you. Secondary attachments are attachments like the laser aiming module. It's not that important because you cannot like depend on it that much. But what I do recommend having on every gun is just laser, well not laser, flashlight. And those are basically every secondary attachment that are like doing something for you. Now you also have secondary attachments like the remote switch. Honestly, I do not know what this does, but I think it's for cosmetic purposes. I am not sure what this does at all. It just adds mass. Now you can have a front sliding mount, stuff like that, but I'm still not sure what it does. Now, you also have different grips and stocks. Now these stocks can increase your mass but decrease your recoil or stuff like that. It's important to have all your heavy mass on top of your gun because I just learned this recently. Heavy mass on top of your gun reduces recoil, which is something that's just blowing my mind lately. The amount of realism that went into this game. That is basically it from this guide / tutorial. Thank you for watching. Bye.